Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Balance. In this video we're going to talk about Pop Shell and see what Pop Shell is and how we can use Pop Shell in our Linux machine. Pop Shell is a new tiling window manager that was developed by Pop OS. It was first introduced and shipped in the latest version of Pop OS. Pop OS is an Ubuntu-based operating system. So Pop Shell is simply a GNOME extension running on top of the GNOME Shell. We can use Pop Shell for navigation and management of Windows. So I'm going to take you through the installation of Pop Shell on Linux. In my case, I'll be using Ubuntu, and later on we can see how to use Pop Shell to automatically tile and manage our Windows. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure we have all the dependencies of Pop Shell installed in our Ubuntu. So if you're running Ubuntu with GNOME, you definitely have GNOME. So Pop Shell runs on GNOME Shell version 3.36 or above. So you're going to also need TypeScript and Make. So I'm just going to install these dependencies on Ubuntu. So the first thing I'm going to do, just type in the command sudo apt install node TypeScript Make. So after that is complete, the next thing you're going to do is download the Pop Shell repo. So we can download it directly or clone from GitHub. So make sure you have Git installed. So git clone, images. Then next I type out the link to the Pop Shell repo on GitHub. So the link of the repo is down below. Once you download the repo, move to the shell directory and install Pop Shell. So we're going to use the command cd shell to move into the shell directory. Then after we do that, make local install. So that's the command that will install Pop Shell in Ubuntu. So you'll be asked whether you want to override your default keyboard shortcuts. So even if you type in yes, you can always reset them back to the default shortcuts. So I'm just going to type in Y in my case. So after the installation is done, you will notice a new icon right on top of your screen. So just click on it so that you can see how Pop Shell works. So I'm just going to open up several applications on my machine so that I can best demonstrate how Pop Shell works. So the first option is to tile windows. Just toggle it to on. You can see my windows are arranged in a grid-like manner. So Pop Shell offers other customization options. For instance, show window title, show active hint. So active hint shows you the window that you're currently using. So I'm just going to toggle that to on so that I can see the window I was actively on. So as you can see, there's a pop-up around my active window. There's a grid like, so you can also just change the color around that. So yeah, selected a different color. You can see there's a color change. So Pop Shell comes with shortcuts. So there's the launcher. You can launch Pop Shell with the super and forward slash. You can navigate through the windows with the super and arrows keys. So I'm just going to try navigate through my windows with the super and arrow keys. So we have the toggle tiling option, super and Y. So I'm going to use my super key, which is Windows in my case, to navigate through my windows, as you can see. So Pop Shell also comes. I can do toggle tiling, which puts my windows either in stack mode or in auto tile mode. So Pop Shell comes with keyboard shortcuts. That makes it so much easier to use. So I'd recommend you install keyboard shortcuts on Pop Shell. So to install keyboard shortcuts, I'm just going to install dependencies. So sudo apt install cargo rustc, and so after we download all the dependencies, the next thing, we're just going to download the shortcuts from the keyboard shortcuts repository from GitHub and install it in our machine. So just clone it the same way we did with a link to the shortcuts repo. Git clone, then the link to the shortcuts repo. So I'll just move into the shell shortcuts directory and install it in our machine. So make local install. So once it's downloaded, you can just launch it. You can launch the shortcuts by typing pop shell shortcuts. Also, you can see these are the shortcuts available in Pop Shell. So there's the direction keys, move, resize, swap windows, display and workspaces. There's adjustment mode. So I'm just going to use these shortcuts to demonstrate. So you can select a window Let me just style my windows. Have direction keys. So let me style my windows. So you have direction keys. You can move, resize, swap windows. And to enter adjustment mode, use super and enter key. So let me try and increase my window size. Just press shift with the arrow keys, the left and down arrow key. So as you can see, my active window is increasing. To swap the windows, you can use control with the arrow keys. So you can see I'm swapping to the windows. So to affect the changes, press enter. So you can see the changes. As you can see, there's so many available shortcuts when you're using Pop Shell, and with time you get to understand each command, and that makes using Pop Shell even much easier. As we had mentioned, when you no longer want to have Pop Shell, you can reset your keyboard shortcuts back to default, because when you install Pop Shell, you have, if you chose the option to override your default shortcuts, they'll be modified. So if you just go over to settings, then search for keyboard, then keyboard shortcuts, then just click on the reset all button, reset all shortcuts, click OK, and now you have reset your keyboard shortcuts back to default. So that's it for this video today. So I hope you get to install and use Pop Shell to make your workflow much easier. So don't forget to subscribe and watch out for my next video. Thank you.